This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm audible. Good afternoon to all.
Yeah, you are. We can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Today, I'll be beginning with the Python programming. Agenda of this programming, agenda of this course, Python course. We will be talking about introduction to Python, introduction to Python. Then we'll be begin with how Python Python helps in VLSI area. How Python helps in VLSI area, and then we will begin with what is the differences from Python 2 to Python 3. Python 3, and then we'll talk about what are the unique features of the Python. Unique features of the Python, and then we will be talking about uh, Python data types, and then we'll talk about list, then strings, then we'll talking about tuple, then dictionary. After this, we're going to talking about Python operators, and then we'll be talking about Python functions, and then we'll talking about Python file handling operations. We'll be talking about Python regular expression, then we'll talking about Python hoops concept, and finally we'll be going to we are going to use this Python program for some of the test cases in the VLSI. So this is the agenda of the Python course. So we'll be begin with introduction about the Python, then how Python helps in VLSI area, and what is the difference between Python 2 and Python 3, what are the unique features of the Python data types, list, tuples, and then we'll also talk about sets, then dictionaries, then what are the Python operators. So before this Python, the unique features of the Python, we're going to talking about what is the Python identifiers, and then Python keywords, and Python, whether Python is following the indentation. Then we'll start with the data types. Then after that, strings, list, strings, tuple, sets, and dictionaries. Then we'll talk about operators, functions. Then how file handling operation we can use in the Python. Then regular expression. Then hoop concepts, and finally we'll talk about how Python program is used to writing a Python program for some test cases in the VLSI. So let us start with Python, introduction to Python. So what is a Python? What is a Python? Anyone?
So Python is a scripting language, sir.
Introduction to Python. What is a Python? What is the use of the Python programming? Anyone?
Sir, in VLSI, when we're writing some test cases by using the
Okay.
scripting, we can do the things in a short time. Exactly
Okay.
don't know, but I heard.
Yes, yes. So, if there is any task or repeatedly we are using, any workflow we want to repeatedly do, what we can do, like we can write a Python programming to do the automation. Any repetitive task are there. To automating that, we'll use a Python programming. So then coming to this Python, nowadays you may heard about everywhere they're talking about Python programming, Python programming. Now this became a most demand programming nowadays for all the areas like web development, user interface development, then data analysis, data visualization, and data science. Many fields they have started using the Python programming. Correct. So what is a Python is nothing but Python is a multi-level, it is a high-level multi-purpose interpreted language. So why we call this an interpreted language? So if you talk about Python, Python is it is a high-level multi-purpose interpreted language. Interpreted language. What do you mean by interpreted language? Anyone, what is the idea about? So Python is a high-level multi-purpose object-oriented. This is object-oriented interpreted languages. Interpreted language. What is meant by interpreted language? So the interpreted language is nothing but the Python scripts are compiled. The Python script is compiled line by line. So we have different types of languages like compilers, correct? Compiler language. So we have different types of languages like compiler. So compiler language, what are the compiler language are? C, C++ are the examples for the compiler language. What these compiler languages do, the entire program, entire program is converted into mission code. So we can say high level language is converted into mission level language, and it runs the entire code runs at the same time. So this consumes the more memory, so that Python we call it as an interpreted language. Interpreted language. The what is the use of this interpreted language is nothing but it start converting. It start converting the code into line by line, into line by line. That is the use of this Python programming, because Python programming is an interpreted language. It start converting the code into line by line so that it consumes less memory. It consumes less memory so that it can call Python is an interpreted language. So this Python was introduced by Van in the year 1980s. In the 1980s, nowadays this Python program became more popular. Now, how this Python helps in the VLSI area is first one, how this Python helps in the VLSI. The first one is it is using for automation task. It is using for automation task. Automation task means this Python can be used to write the script, to write a scripting that automates repetitive tasks. This is using for repetitive tasks, such as it is using for generating the patterns, or it is using for generating the layout schematics, so that this helps us can save the time, and reduces the risk of the errors, reduces risk of the errors, where you can use the Python programming for this. And second one is, it is using for prototyping. This Python programming, due to the simplicity of the Python simplicity and easy of use, to make good choice for prototyping new VLSI designs. This is another use of the Python in VLSI. So this can exploring the different design options, or testing the new algorithms. So that we can use the Python programming in VLSI. The another one is nothing but is a vast use of data analysis. We'll use the Python programming. So because of Python have number of libraries for working with the data. The libraries such as NumPy library and Pandas library. This can be used. These libraries can be used to analyze the VLSI design data, such as you can use, this is for simulation data, the results, or you can also do for performance metrics. And another use of the Python in VLSI is nothing but for visualization. Purpose will use the Python. So this Python Python is used to creating visualizations of the data. The libraries which basically will use for this one is nothing but such as matplotlib library, and we'll use for cborn library. To creating the graphs, and plots to help us understanding of the VLSI design data. So one more use of this Python in the VLSI is nothing but, so this is used for interfacing with the VLSI tools. We will use this Python. So this Python can write a code that interfaces with other VLSI design tools. So these are the major area so where you can use the Python programming. How this basically Python programming is help in the VLSI to do all these tasks, like automating the tasks. For automation process, we'll use this task, and then it is using for prototyping, and it is using for data analysis, and it is using for the data visualization, and it is also using for interfacing with the VLSI tools. So these are the things that Python can be used in the VLSI. Now I'll show you how to run the Python script. How to run the Python script. I hope everyone are installing with the Cygwin, right? Is it Cygwin is installed into your system? So to run the Python script, let us take the text document. Okay, in this text document, I'm going to give the text file name is, let us take program. So this will be, I have saved this into the .txt extension. So I'll write a Python program in here, very simple programming. I'll write like, I'm going to use print function. To print the content, I'm going to write welcome to VLSI Guru. So after writing the content, I want to run this script. To run this script, I'll use the Cygwin as a compiler to run this. So I'll open the Cygwin. I'll change the path where I am working. So suppose I'm in root directory. Now I change my directory to the desktop. So here I have a file with the name is pgm.txt file. So in this I'm going to write the Python script, very simple program. I wrote here is nothing but print function. I'm going to print as welcome to VLSIGuru. To run this Python script, what you can do, use this Cygwin as a compiler, so that by typing Python and then write the program.txt file. So when I type the Python here, this Python is calling the Python interpreter. so that I can able to run this program.txt file. If I run this, I'm going to get output as welcome to VLSIGuru. So this is how you can run the Python script, where you can write the Python programming in .txt file to run this. To run this, I'm using this Sigwin terminal. By typing this Python, now it is going to call the Python interpreter and the program name with the extension program.txt. Very simple program I wrote here is nothing but welcome to VLSIGuru. This is one way. Another way to run this Python programming is you should be indicating with the shebang. Shebang is used to call the interpreter. So how to give the shebang is nothing but shebang is indicated by hash with the exclamatory mark. So this we call it as a shebang, and this will be followed by the path of the Python. How to get the path of the Python is go to the Sigwin, type which Python. So this will give the path of the Python. The path of the Python is nothing but user bin / Python. So I'll copy this, and this I'm going to indicating after the shebang. Shebang is used to call the interpreter. Which interpreter I'm calling is nothing but a Python interpreter, so that I'm specifying the path for this. So here user / this is a path, user / bin / Python. Now to run the Python script, here by typing Python, I can call the interpreter. Another way to call the interpreter is nothing but using shebang. Now to run the file in the particular directory, use / program.txt file. Program.txt file. So that this program, I wrote the Python simple programming is nothing but print function. That print function is going to display the content. Welcome to VLSIGuru. So this is how you can run the Python programming, Python script using Sigwin. Now I'll show you how you can use the cloud-based IDEs. What is mean by IDE? IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. IDE is nothing but integrated this is integrated development environment are used to run the Python programming. There are different IDEs are there, some of the IDEs are like PyCharm, then we have Google Collab, then we have Eclipse, then we have Jupyter Notebook, then we have Spider, then we have Anaconda, etc. There are so many IDEs are there. So these are some of the IDEs I have mentioned here. Those are like PyCharm is there, Google Colab is there, Eclipse are there, Jupyter Notebook, Spider, Anaconda, etc. So these are the integrated development environments to run the Python scripting. Now I used to work with the cloud-based IDE. That IDE we call it as a Google Colab. Now I'll show you how to open the Google Colab to run the Python scripting. For this, what you can do, you can go to your Google Drive. Okay. So where you can find the new button here, press the new. Then here, go to the more option. Since I have already installed this Google Colab into my drive, so that I can directly find the Google Colab in my case. In your case, if you want to open this Google Colab, go to the more option. Here, go to connect to the more apps. Then you can, here you will get a separate window for searching the Google Colab. Once you click onto this, you'll get Google Workspace Marketplace. Here you type the collaboratory. Now, once you click onto this collaboratory, you'll get the Google Collabs here. So in my case, I have already installed the Google Collab so that it is showing that already installed. In your case, you have to download this and then you have to install. So what is the use of this Google Collab is that, so this Google Collab is by default is coming with notebook with the interpreter. So I can write the Python programming and same time I can run the Python scripts. So line by line code I can type and I can execute the program. So that this Google Colab is basically coming up with notebook with the interpreter. So that's why I used to prefer with the Google Collaboratory. So you can run the Python script in different way. So one way is nothing but write the script in text file. Okay, write the script in the text file, and then use the shebang with the path to call the Python interpreter. Then you write the Python programming, save this. To run this, you need a terminal. So in Segment terminal, how to run this is nothing but go to the Segment terminal, change the directory where you are working, particular directory you have to change, and to run any script in a particular directory, start with / and file name with .txt file. So in this case, I have already indicated to call the interpreter, I have indicated that here. So shebang with the path. So this shebang is calling the Python interpreter. Where it is calling the Python interpreter is nothing but using this path. This is one way to run the script. Another way is nothing but suppose if you are not mentioning any shebang with the path, how to run the Python scripting is nothing but just type the script in the text document, then go to the Segment terminal, type Python with program.txt file. This is one way you can write. The another way is nothing but you can save, if you want, you can save this into the .py extension. I'm going to save this as save as, then I'm going to save this in the desktop, go to the desktop. Here I'm going to give program.py. I'm giving my extension as .py file. I'm going to save. Now after saving this program, now you can see that you can find, so this is the, okay, let me check the property of this file is nothing but, now this extension of this file is nothing but .py file. You can see that the type of file is nothing but py file, .py file. Now how to run this .py file is same thing. Go to the Segment, change the directory where you are working. Okay, I'll change my directory to the desktop. Now I change it. Now to call the interpreter, type the Python, then program.py. Now you can run this program. So now I run the program. I wrote a very simple program that is nothing but welcome to VLSIGuru using print function. I am printing this. This is one way. Suppose you don't want to type with Python with the file name with the extension. In that case, you have to give the shebang. So I said that Python is an interpreter language. The very first line is a shebang. If you give the shebang with the path, user/bin/python. So Python, I said that it is an interpreter language. It is start running line by line, start converting line by line from high level language into the machine level language. Any errors are there, it is going to stop the compilation. So very first line I'm writing here is shebang with the user part, so that it is understanding that this once it start executing this, it is understanding that this script is nothing but Python script, so that it is start calling the Python interpreter in the Segment shell. Then it is start running line by line. If any errors are there, it is going to stop the particular error. That is the main advantage of the interpreter language over a compiler language. So if you are giving the shebang in this case, there is no need of giving the Python here because this is used to call the interpreter, Python interpreter. Now simply you can run this program with dot forward slash program dot py file, program dot py file, so that I can compile the Python programming by typing this command, by typing this one dot forward slash program dot py file. This is a one way you can run the Python script. Now I'll show you how to run the Python script in the server, institute server. So what you can do is nothing but you connect to the institute server. So I'm going to connect to the institute server. First, I am going to log into the VPN. Now I'm going to open my putty. So just I'm going to create in the session here. After creating the session, I will just open the VLC viewer. I'm logging into the institute server. This is my session ID is 12. Yeah. So once I log into the institute server, here I'll take the open terminal. Now I change my directory to the desktop. I'll change my directory to the desktop. Now I'll use the GVM text editor to write the Python programming. I'll give the program name is file name is I'm going to give program dot py file. Now I'll open with the GVM. Here I'm going to write the program. I'm going to write very simple program. Print. Welcome to VLSIGuru. Welcome to VLSIGuru. Now I'm going to save this program, save and exit. So now I created the Python file with the extension .py in the desktop. Now I want to run this script. To run this script, go to the open terminal. Here, go to the open terminal. So this is the open terminal. Here I am going to type Python. By typing Python, it is going to call the Python interpreter. Python program.py. I'll run this program. Now I'm getting output of this program is nothing but welcome to VLSIGuru. So this is one way to run the program. Another way is nothing but you don't want to type the Python. Inside that, you have to specify the shebang with the path of the Python. So let me do that. I'll open this in the GVM. Now I'm going to write. I'm going to write the shebang here. Go to insert mode. Here, very first line. I'm going to write the shebang, then user slash bin slash Python. This is a path of the Python. Now I wrote the simple program is nothing but print. Welcome to VLSIGuru in Python. Now I'm going to save this and exit. Now I'm going to run the program is dot forward slash and program.py. So if I run this, so for me, it is asking me to change the permission. To change the permission, I'm going to give the command called as chmod change the permission. For user, I'm giving all the permissions, read, write, and execute permission. Then program.py file. Py file. Now I'm going to run this program. Now, if I run this script, I'm getting welcome to VLSIGuru. This is how you can run the Python script in the Institute server. So if you have any question on this, how to run the Python programming, you can ask me now. How to run the Python script. Now let me close this. Is it I'm audible to all? Hello? Let me know. Yeah, please let us know that do you have any question on this, how to run the Python scripting? If you have any questions or like this, you can ask me, because simply if you're not responding anything, I couldn't able to give more information. Can you let me know, are you clear about this, how to run the Python script in Institute server? Then how to run the Python script in the Cygwin terminal. Now I'm going to teach you how to use the cloud-based IDEs, cloud-based integrated development environment to run the Python scripts. Okay. I hope you are understand this, how to run the Python scripting. Let me close this. I'm going to disconnecting with the server. So I used to prefer, because since Python is a open source, I don't want required any terminal to run the Python script. So that I used to do with the Google Collab. For this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill this session. So just to show you how to run the Python script in the server, I just log into the server. Okay, this is how you can run the Python script. Now let me disconnect this. Okay. So now I'll show you how to open the Google Colab. As I said, go to your drive, go to the drive. First install this Google Colab into your drive. Once it is installed into your drive, to open that, go to the new, then go to the more option. Here you can find the Google Colab like this. Google Colab like this. Once you open this Google Colab, you'll get a separate window like this. Separate new tab like this. Yeah. So it is, you are getting separate tab like this. This is nothing but a Google Colab, where you can run a Python script here. So what I'm going to do, I'll write a very simple program, what I did earlier. I'll use the same one, print. Here I'm going to write the program is welcome to VLSIGuru. Welcome to VLSIGuru. Now to run this script, before to run this script, you should know that your Google Colab should be connecting into the one of the engine of the Google. It should connecting into the, at back end, it should connecting into the Google engine. So here you can see that information you can find here. So they will provide you, once you log into this Google Colab, and when you are connecting, so it is providing you that what engine it is connected and what is the memory, RAM size and the ROM size. You can find that information here. This is connecting into Python 3 Google Compute Engine at the back end. So they are providing the RAM is around 12 GB and disk is nothing but 107 GB they are providing me. So how I can write the Python script is nothing but this, we call it as a cell, or we call it as a code cell by typing this. So there is a plus symbol with the code, and this is used to adding the code cell, where I can write the Python script in this case. Okay. So what is the use of this is nothing but I have a notebook with the interpreter so that I can easily type the program, Python programming, so that I can run here itself. So if I click onto this, now it will gives me the result is welcome to VLSI. Now here you can see that there is a one more option we have. It is nothing but text. Here I can type the text here like. So this is nothing but print program. Print program. So I'll use this. So this is used to increase the font size. This is for the bold and this is for italic. I'm using this bold. So I can modify the size and bolding the text content I can do by using this option. So now I wrote a very simple program using the print program. Here, just I'm writing a print, welcome to VLSIGuru. So how to run this script is nothing but run this cell. If I run this cell, I can print this. Print program, welcome to VLSIGuru. And you can see at the left side, if you want to attach any file from your system to the Google Colab, here is the option. So here is to uploading the session storage by clicking on this. Once you click on this, you can upload the files from your local system to the Google Colab by using this option. And this is used to refreshing the files here, refreshing the files. And this is an option is used to mounting the drive. So once you click onto this, it will start connecting into the Google Drive. So once you're connecting into the Google Drive, so now it is mounted. Now if I refresh this, so I can find my drive here. In the drive, what are the folders I have, what are the files I have, I can refer all the files and the folders in my drive. So this option to mount the drive. Yeah, this is clear to everyone? Do you have any questions on this? You can ask me. And one more thing is that this Google Colab is providing the runtime type. So the runtime type is nothing but you can use your local system as a hardware accelerator when the option is none here. If you want the GPU, at backend, the Google engine, if you want a GPU, connect to the GPU. If you want to use the TPU, so you can select the option as TPU. GPU is for general purpose unit and TPU is for the tensor processing unit. Usually this Google Colab is used to running the Python script for the machine learning and deep learning. So where we have huge number of data, input data, and where the data set will be in terms of gigabytes, so that we need a sophisticated hardware to train the any model for the large data set. So we should go with the graphical processing unit or tensor processing unit, TPU or GPU. If you're not selecting anything none, by default it is going to select your local CPU as the hardware accelerator. So this is one good option provided from the Google Colab, so that you can use the runtime type. You want to run the script using your only CPU, or you want to run this using GPU. If I select the GPU and save this, now it will start connecting into the GPU. Now you can find here. First it is start initializing. After initializing, you start connecting. Once it is start connecting, you can find here. So here it is the Python 3 Google Compute Engine. At backend, it is connecting into the GPU, graphical processing unit. So to teach you, I'm using the Google Colab as one of the IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Why? Because I'm using this is nothing but this complete. This we call it as a notebook. This notebook is coming with integrated with the compiler also. I can write the program here, I can compile the program here itself. So that's why I used to do this. Okay. Now, if you want to save this program in your drive or to your GitHub, go to the file. These are the options you can do. Like you can locate this into the drive and you can save this into the drive, your drive. And if you want to save this into your GitHub, you can save this. You can download with the extension of .py file, .ipy notebooks file. And if you want to print this, you can go to the print option. And if you go to the edit option like print the cell, select the cell and delete the cells. And this is the view options, insert options, runtime options, tools, and you can also find the help options here. Yeah. So with this, we will begin with first one is nothing but Python input and output functions. First, we'll begin with Python input and output functions. Later, we'll start working with what is a Python list, what is a tuple in the Python, and what is a set, dictionary, etc. We'll start later. Now, let us begin with what is input and output functions. Yeah, do you have any question on this, how to run the scripting? Any other questions you can ask me now? Yeah, hello. Yeah, please, I request all of you to please respond. What I'm teaching you, are you able to understand? If you have any questions are there, please put it in the chat box so that I can start addressing that. Hello? Yeah. Is it I'm audible to you? Is it I am audible to all? Okay, let us know any doubts are there, please. So if there is no response from you, I can't able to do the proper manner. Please let me know. Any questions are there, please? You can put it in the chat box. Okay. Did you understand that how to run the script, Python script? Okay. Okay, let us start with this Python input and output function. So very first program we did in the Python is nothing but how to print the content, right? The output function we are using to display the content of the content. We'll use the Python. We'll use the print function. So suppose I want to print hello world, hello world. So how I can print hello world is nothing but using print. So print hello world. If I run this, it is going to print hello world function. Suppose I want to give the input to the Python. how I can do is nothing but I'm going to use the variable a is equal to, I'm using the keyword as input. Now here I'm going to give enter the value of the a. Enter the value of the a is equal to. Now if I run this, now it is asking me to enter the value of a. If I give 5, now it will take a is equal to 5. Now if I go into print of a, if I run this program, now it is asking me to enter the value of a, and if I put enter, it is going to print the a value. Now a I am giving as input is 5. So 5 is printed here. So to print the content, to print the function, we'll use the print. So you can see here, I'm using variable as a name is equal to input. If I run this, if I'm going to type, I'm giving input as a string, then here I'll give hello. If I hit enter, now I'm printing here this one. Whatever the input I'm giving, that I'm printing here. This is how you can use the print function. The another way to use the print function is nothing but this one, the input. Here, let me give here hello. If I press enter, now see here already I'm using this print to print the content. Now here this I'm passing input is asking from the user, and that will be assigning to the variable name. Now I'm going to print this, therefore it is printing hello, hello, hello. And here, what is the use of this end function here is nothing but, so after hello, I'll giving the end is nothing but here it is space. Let us type hello world here. If I run this program, now I'm going to give hello world. If I run this, so what is the use of this end in the print function is nothing but, it is going to use the separation from the name which I am passing. User is passing to this and the print to this one. Hello, comma, end is equal to is nothing but it is going to print like hello world. Since I am also giving print of name, I'll remove this. If I run this, now if I give world, function, print and input function, I'm using variable name as a variable is equal to input function. Enter the number of organizations here. I'm going to print hello and end function. Then I'm going to print the name. It is going to print whatever the number I'm entering here. Suppose if I'm entering 15, it is going to print enter the. Now it is going to print like a hello 15. So all these input functions are following the typecasting. If you are not specifying what data type it is, I mean, what is the use of this typecasting is nothing but it is going to find out what is a class of the input. Whether input is a string, input is an integer, or input is a float, etc. To indicating that we are following the typecasting here. So here, I'm going to print, I'm taking the input function, a is equal to input, enter the number, then I'm going to print. Now, how to find out the typecasting of this? To find out in the typecasting of the variable, use the keyword as a type of a. Now it will tells us whether our variable is a string, our variable is a data type, I mean variable is an integer, our variable is a float. To check this, we are using the typecasting. How you can do the typecasting is nothing but by typing type of A. If I run this, I'll give number as 5. Now, if I print this, so up to the third line, the code is correct. When it is coming to the fifth line, it is saying that can't multiply the sequence by the non-integer type. Now this becomes a string. To change this into the integer, what you can do is nothing but, so now it is saying that can't multiply the sequence by non-integer of the type string. The line number, so this is a line number, error is there in fourth line. This is taking as a string. To change this into the string, use the keyword as a str. Str used to specifying the string. If I run this program, if I give input as 5 and run this, now first I'm printing, converting. So this number I'm taking the input from the user, then this will be converted into integer. Now A is nothing but 5. I'm going to print that. Now I'm checking what is the type class of this. The class of this is nothing but 5 is nothing but integer. Then I'm printing what is the square of this number by specifying the typecast of this. This is a typecast is nothing but A is a string. Now I'm specifying the typecast is string. I'm doing here multiplication A into A so that the square of the number is nothing but 25. So what is the use of this type casting is to check the class of the integer, whether class is integer, whether class is float, whether class is string. To check that, we'll use the typecasting. Now, there are three types of print functions in the Python. One is nothing but end function, end parameter. Second one is nothing but separate parameter, and third one is nothing but format parameter. So here just I'm taking an example, like I'm taking variable a is equal to 10, another variable b is equal to 20. If I print a, it is going to print the value of a. Suppose if I'm giving print of c, sorry, a is equal to. So what is the difference between this print function and this print function? This print function is used to display the content inside the double quotes. This is used to print the content inside the double quotes, and print a is displaying the value which is assigning to the a. The value we are assigning to this a is nothing but 10. Now, if I run this program, it gives me the output as a is equal to 10, and suppose if I'm also doing print of b is equal to, print of b is equal to, if I run this, I'll get a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. The difference between this print function and this print function is nothing but this print function will display the content in the double inside the double quotes, and this is nothing but this print function. It is going to print the value which is assigning to the variable. Here the a is a variable. The value which is assigning to the variable a is nothing but 10. Now I will get the output as a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Now what is this end parameter is the use of this end parameter in the print function is nothing but, if you look at this program, so we are taking a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, print a comma n with the single quote. The single quote. So what is the use of this is nothing but this is used to print the values in the same line. It is going to print the values in the same line. So this end parameter in the print function used to display the values in the same line. You can see another example. I think this is also same. This is how you can use the end parameter in the print function. And what is a separator parameter? What is a separator parameter in the print function is nothing but So separator parameters is going to separating the commas here. See, in this case, I'm using print. Suppose if I'm giving the text like this, print. Okay, before this, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to print like this. Print of welcome to world. Welcome to world. Now, if I run the program, this print function will display the content inside the double quotes, and here this print function will give the output like this. So what is this separator parameter is that the separator parameters are used to separating the symbols. See, here this separator parameter used to remove the commas. So that is how you can use the separator parameter in the print function. And so one more separator function we are using is nothing but /n. This /n is using for bring all this content into the new lines. So allow comes in one line, world comes in one line, I comes in the one line, love this comes in one line, and Python comes in the one line. So if I'm using giving two line spaces, two null, it will start with the two. So this is just coming immediately after the first line. So this will give the two lines. So if I print this function, now, yeah, since I have deleted here, let me give this is /n, again /n. Now it is going to print like after. So first line it is going to print hello, and it takes the second line is empty and third line is world, so on. This is a use of separator parameter. In this, if I am using a plus as a separator parameter in the print function, it is going to print like this: hello plus world plus I plus, so on. The another parameter in the print function is nothing but format parameters. So this format parameters is working as a placeholders. Say I'm taking three variables here: A is equal to Indians, B is equal to mango, C is equal to orange. This variable is assigning with the string. Correct? The string is Indians, mangoes, and orange. Now I'm using format parameters here. So how you can use the format parameters in the print function is nothing but print. So open double quotes. Inside the double quotes is nothing but I'm using the placeholder here. Curly brackets with the null curly brackets. Now I'm giving the open curly brackets and close curly brackets. Below again this is open and close curly brackets, and again open and close curly brackets. Dot format. The format function I'm using the print function. Format of A comma B comma C. Now the value which is assigning to the A, the value is placed in the placeholder, first placeholder. Then these mangoes are placed into the second placeholder, and this orange is placing into the third placeholder. Therefore, if I'm using the format function in the print, now it will display the output like Indians loves mangoes and orange. If I run this program, now you can see this Indians love mangoes and the orange. In each placeholder, this has been formatted. So this is another format function in the print. And the other way to use the format function is nothing but this is the one with the percentage. And here we are taking the two variable, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. Now we are printing. You have entered percentage of D and percentage of D to print the integers here. So I'm using percentage of A comma B. Now it will print like this. You are entered A and B. So this is a format parameters in the print functions. Three format functions where one is the first one is end parameters to use to display in the same line, and separate parameters are used to print with the separate symbols. And next parameter is nothing but format parameter. The format parameters work as a placeholders. So these are the two examples for the format parameters in the print functions. So this is regarding about the print function and input function in the Python. Now we'll begin with how to creating the variables in the Python. What are the rules we should follow to creating the variables in the Python? So you can create the variable in the Python. So we don't need to specify any data types in the Python programming. So if you take the variable x is equal to, we are taking here in this case, we are taking the variable x. The variable x is assigning with the 5. This 5 is assigning to the x, and y is equal to, we are assigning with y is nothing but a string. Always if you are indicating a string, if you are assigning the string into the variable, you should follow the double quotes. Double quotes, or you can use the single quotes to assigning the string into the variables. And if I'm going to print of x, it is going to display the 5. And if you're going to print of y, this is going to print the string. If I want to check what is the typecasting of this, for this I'll use the keyword as type of x. Type of x. Now it is going to give the typecasting class of this one. The class of the variable x is nothing but it is an integer. Now I'll change this into the float, and if I run this, now it is going to give me the class is nothing but it is a float point. Now similarly I'm going to check the typecasting of the y also. I'm going to print of type of y, type of y. If I run this, the typecasting of this is nothing but this is a string I'm assigning into the variable using double quotes. If I run this, now the typecasting of this is nothing but it is a string. So you can also use the single quote to assigning the string also. Now if I run this, so this gives me the class, I mean typecasting of this variable y is nothing but it is a str indicating the string. So what is, this is what is mean by typecasting is nothing but, you can see I'm taking here x is equal to, the keyword I'm using is str is nothing but string, int is nothing but float, integer, and floyd is nothing but float. If I run this x will be taken as a string. Now y will be taking as a float, sorry, integer, and z will be taking as a float point. This is printing like a 333.0 because this last one is nothing but a what? This is nothing but a float point. Now how to get the type? How to get the type is nothing but take the variable x is equal to 5. So y is equal to, I'm assigning this into the string. To check the type or to get the type of the variable, use the keyword as a type of x. So this will give the type of, get the type, I mean class of this. So first one is the integer and second one is nothing but a string. So here you can use the single or double quotes to specifying the strings. So strings variables can be declared either by using the single quotes or either by using the double quotes. In this case, we are using the double quotes. So this is an example for this. Using single quote, you can declaring the string variables, or you can use the double quotes. This is a double quote and this is the single quotes. So always in the Python, the variables which we are using in the Python are the case sensitive. If capital A is different from the small a. So let us take an example. So this is an example. So we are taking the variable a is equal to 4, and we are taking the another variable with the capital letters. A is equal to, I am assigning this with the string. Now if I print a and capital A, these two are different. So variables are case sensitive in the Python programming. So a is equal to 4 and another variable I'm using capital A is equal to, this is a 1, this is a string I'm declaring to this variable A. If I print this, these both are not same, since in Python variables are the case sensitive. Now how you can assigning the variables in the Python? How you can declaring the variables in the Python. To declaring the variables in the Python, you have to give some descriptive names for writing the variables in the Python. The first one is nothing but always use the variable with the shared name. Like you can use x and y. In above case, we are using a, b, or some other example x and y. Or it should be more descriptive names. Like you can give age, like car name, total underscore value, and then you should follow the rules for declaring the variables in the Python. Is a variable in the Python must be start with the letters or underscores characters, and variable cannot start with the numbers, and variable name can only the containing alphanumeric characters and the underscores like a-z, 0-9 and underscore. So in this case, variables are the case sensitive. We saw just about one example. Age, this age and this age are the three are different variables in the Python programming. Always try to give the variable with the descriptive names in the Python programming. So you can see here. So how you can okay, what are the different types of variables you can use in the Python program is nothing but like you can use the Campbell case, you can use the Pascal case, you can use a snake case, and these are the three ways you can defining the variables. So see, the variable names with the more than one word can be difficult to read. There are several techniques you can use to make them to the more readable format. The first example is nothing but camel case. So in the camel case, in each word except the first and the first comma start with the capital letters. So this is an example for the camel case. In the camel case, very first word will be in the small cases, and after the first word, the second word will be starting with the capital letter. So variable in this second word in this case is nothing but variable. Variable is started with the capital letters, and the third one is the variable name will started with the capital N. So this type of variable is nothing but camel case variable. The Pascal variable is nothing but each word start with the capital letters. So you can see here I'm declaring the variable. This variable is nothing but my variable name. Each word is start with the capital letters. So my is starting with the capital letters, variable is starting with the capital letters, and name is also starting with the capital letters. This is another way you can define the variable in the Python. Next one is nothing but snake cases. So snake cases is nothing but each word will be separated by the underscore characters. So this is an example for the snake case variables in the Python. Always keep it in mind. The variables in the Python will not start with the numbers or not started with the underscores. You have to give the descriptive name for the variables. Okay, it is a good to practice that the variable name should be in short notations. So this is how you can define the variables in the Python, like camel case, Pascal case, and the snake cases. Now we'll see how to assigning the multiple values into the Python variables in the Python. So many values to the multiple variables. Python allow you can assign to the multiple variables in the one line. How you can do is nothing but by using this. So I'm assigning the multiple values, many values into the multiple variables. In this case, x is a one variable, y is a one variable, and z is a one variable. This multiple variables are assigning to the many values are assigning to the multiple variables. Like this x is assigning to the orange is the string, y is assigning to the banana, and z is assigning to the cherry. If you run this and we are printing the x, y, z value, the content of this x is nothing but orange, content of y is nothing but banana, content of z is nothing but a cherry. Then auto assigning one. So this is example for many variables are assigning into the multiple variables. How to assign the multiple variables into the one value. Sorry, one value to the multiple variable. So this is a one value is assigning to the multiple variables. So and you can assign the same value to the multiple variables in the single line. Is nothing but so x is equal to y is equal to z. This is assigning to the string is nothing but orange. Orange is assigning to the x, y, and z. Now, if you run this, the one value is assigning to the multiple variables. So, if I'm printing x is nothing but content of x is nothing but orange. Content of y is nothing but orange. Content of z is also orange. So, this is an example for one value to the multiple variables. Now, how to unpacking the collections? So, unpacking the collections is nothing but if you have a collection of values in the list or tuples, or it may be set or a dictionary, Python allow you to extracting the values into the variables. This technique we call it as a unpacking in the Python. That means unpacking a collection is nothing but if you have a collection of values in the list form, tuple form, set form, or dictionary form, the Python allow you to extracting the values into the variables. This is called it as a unpacking. Now here I am taking the example is nothing but a list here. How you can define the list in the Python is nothing but using the square bracket. So these are the list of elements. So how many list of elements we have in this case is nothing but 3 elements we have. One is apple, another one is banana, another one is a cherry. So how to unpacking this is nothing but so this already you know, right? This is nothing but many values into the many variables. So this I am taking as a list here. By list name is nothing but fruits. Fruits list are indicated with the square brackets. Inside the square bracket, these are the list of elements. These are assigning into the variables x, y, z is equal to fruits. Now, if I'm going to print x, print y, and print z, the list of elements in this fruits is assigning to x, y, z. If I run this, you'll get the print of x is nothing but apple, print of y is nothing but banana, print of z is nothing but cherry. So this technique we call it as a unpacking. So if you have a values in the list, tuples, and etc., Python allows to extracting the values in the variables. This technique we call it as a unpacking. So this is another example is we are assigning the multiple values to the multiple variables. Now x is assigning to the orange, y is assigning to the banana, and the last one y is equal to z. Z is assigning this as a tuple here in this case. So tuples are indicated with the round brackets. So if I'm using x comma y is equal to z, orange is assigning to the x and banana is assigning to the y and z is assigning with the tuples. So this is how you can use the unpacking in the Python programming. As we already see that some of the print functions, now we'll start discussing about what is the output variables in the Python. So the output variables, the Python is nothing but print function, print of this one, this we call it as a constructor. So print is a keyword in the Python with the constructor. Constructor is always start with the open brackets and the close bracket. Function is often to use to the output variables. Now I'm assigning variable x is equal to Python is awesome. So this is nothing but a string. String is always indicated with the single quote or the double quotes. This is assigning to the X. Now I want to print the content of this. To print the content of this, I'm using print of X. So the out here print is nothing but an output variable to print the content of X. So other example of the output variable is nothing but, so print function, print with the constructor function, we can output the multiple variables separated by the comma in this case. Now I'm assigning the variable X as a Python, variable Y is and variable Z is nothing but awesome. If I'm going to use print of X comma Y comma Z, this is printing as Python is awesome. So this is a print function with output multiple variables. Output with the multiple variables. This multiple variables is separated by commas, so that this will print like Python is a awesome. If you use the operator, plus operator, instead of comma, if you use a plus operator, you can also use the plus operator to the output of multiple variables in the Python. How is X is equal to Python, y is, so I am giving, in this example I am giving the space after the letter n. Let me remove this. If I remove this space and if I'm using place operator, then if I use the print function for the multiple variables, this will be printed like this. Python is, there's no space here. Now this plus operator is printing like this. Python is awesome. If I give the space to this, Python space and is space and awesome space, now if I print this, Python is awesome. The another way to print the output with the multiple variables is nothing but use the plus operator. So one is nothing but comma operator, one is nothing but just printing the X value, and another one is nothing but plus operators. Now you can see for the numbers, if you put the plus character works as, in this case is nothing but, in this case this plus is working as a mathematical operator. In this case this plus is working as combining the output variables. You have to print the output variables, multiple output variables. In this case this plus operator, because the both the variables X and Y are the integers, if I print X plus Y, now this plus is acting as a multiplication operator. Another case, you can see here X is the integer and Y is the string. If I print this, now this integer I can't do the mathematical addition operator with the string. So in the print function, we can try to combine the string and the number with the plus operator. So, but it will use the error. So what error we are getting is nothing but it is unsupported operand type S for the place for the integer and the string. The best way to outputting the multiple values in this case is nothing but the function is separated by with the commas, and even it is supports the different data types. Now in this case we are using the X comma operator to separating the output multiple variables. So in this case this place is working as a mathematical operator, but both the variables are integers, so that it will do the mathematical operations. In this case the plus operator, the one variable is nothing but integer, another variable is nothing but string. Therefore Python will give an error. What error it is giving? That it is unsupporting the operand. The type of S for plus is integer and the string is not supported here. The best way to solve this is nothing but multiple variables in the print function is to separate with the commas, which even separate the different data types. So you can take X is equal to 5, X is equal to John. This is nothing but a string. So use print X comma Y to print the function. Now it is going to print like 5 comma Y. And there are some other variables we have. So usually these global variables are used in the function in the Python. This basically we'll see what is the global variables after discussing about the functions in the Python. If I'm start teaching you, since if you are not knowing about the functions in the Python, it is quite difficult to understand this. Let us discuss the global variables. So we talked about input variables, how to assigning the variables and output variables. So these global variables are used in functions. Okay, this will be declaring the outside the function, so that I can use this variable which I am declaring the outside function inside the function by using the keyword as globe. Okay, this will see the global variable when we discussing about the functions in the Python. So this is an example, same thing. How you can use the global variable inside the function is nothing but by using the keyword as global x. We'll see this global variable when you start discussing about the functions in the Python. So this is regarding about variables, how you can defining the variables, then output variables, and we'll see what are the data types, in the Python data types. The Python data types are like string for the text type, and the number types are integer, float, and complex, and sequence data types are list, tuples, and the range, and mapping data types are dictionaries, and set data types are set and frozen sets, and boolean data types are bool, and then binary data types are bytes, byte array, and memory view, and there is a none data type. None data type is nothing but no data types. So these are the data types. So in the programming, Python programming, the data types are very important concept. So each variable, any variable can store data of different types, and different types can do different things in the Python. So Python has these are the following data types built in default in this category. Like text data type is string, numerical type is integer, float, and complex, and sequence type are list, tuples, and ranges. Mapping data types are dictionaries. Set data types are set and frozen set. Boolean types are bool. Binary types are bytes, byte array, and memory view, and a none data type. Now let me start getting into these data types. So to get the type of data type, what you can use is nothing but use the type keyword to get the type of the data types. Your example is we're taking the variable x is equal to 5. So this is a print type of data of the variable x is nothing but print. Use the keyword as type of x. This will tells us what class this is, whether it is integer, float, or the complex number. So the class of this is nothing but integer. If I run this program, the data type of x is nothing but an integer. Now let us take few examples in this case. So these are examples for all the data types. Setting the data types. In the data types set, when you are want to assigning the value to the variable, how to assigning the value to the variable is nothing but, so if I'm assigning x is equal to in double quotes or single quotes, inside this is nothing but a string. So what data type this is nothing but, the type of data type is nothing but string. And this is an example for the integer data type, and this is an example for the float, and this is an example for the complex data types, complex number data types, and this is a data type for nothing but a list. List in the Python are indicating with the square brackets, and tuples are indicated with the round brackets. This is example for data type is a tuple, and this is for range, and this is for the dictionary, and this is for the sets, and this is for the frozen sets, and boolean type is nothing but true or false, and byte data type is nothing but, this is how you can check the byte data types, and this is example for byte array, and this is the example for memory view of the byte file, and this is nothing but none type. So these are the data types in the Python, like string, integer, float, complex, list, tuple, range, dictionary, set, frozen sets, boolean, bool, bytes, byte array, memory view, and none data types. These are the data types of the Python. Now you can see here how to check the data type is nothing but. So let us take an example. Here we're taking x is equal to, in double quotes, hello world. This is nothing but a string. So this string is assigning to the variable x. If I'm going to print of x will display the content of the variable. What is the content of the variable is nothing but hello world. Now you can display the type of this. What data type of this is nothing but, use the keyword as print type of x. Now first print will use the content of the x, hello world, and second print will use the data type of the x. The data type of the x is nothing but a string. So this is an example for the string data types, and this is an example for integer. X is equal to 20, display x, print of x, display the data type x is nothing but print of type of x. Now first one will print the 20 and second one prints the class of this. The class of this is nothing but a integer. And next data type is nothing but a float point. So taking the variable x is equal to 20.5. If I'm printing x and print type of x, so this is nothing but a float point. This is how you can check the data type in the Python. So this is an example for the complex number. So x is equal to 1j, and if I print of x, this will give 1j, and print of type of x is nothing but it will give the display the type of x. And how to check with the data type with the list? List are always indicated with the square brackets in the Python. So we are taking the variable x is equal to square brackets, and these are the list of elements. This is one element, this is a second element, this is the third element. If you print of x, it is going to display apple, banana, cherry, elements of the list, and print of type of x is going to print the class. This is nothing but a list. So we'll see what is a list, what is a tuple, what is a set, what is a dictionary, how to work with the list, tuple, set, dictionary, pros and set later. We'll understand about what is the data types of the Python. So always tuples are indicated with the curly brackets. Sorry, not curly brackets. This is round brackets. So x is equal to, these are the tuple elements. Apple is a one tuple element. Banana is a one tuple element. Cherry is a one tuple element. If I print of x, it is going to print the tuple. And if I print of x is nothing but, the class is nothing but tuple in this case. And this is nothing but a range. The data type is range. The range is from, by default, if I'm giving range of 6, it will take the range from 0 to 6. The type casting of this is nothing but a range. So another example is nothing but a dictionary here. Dictionaries are used with representing with the mapping the element with the key values. So this is the key and this is the element. This is the key and this is the element. And this is, see, always dictionaries in the Python are representing with the curly brackets. Flower brackets are used to representing the dictionaries in the Python. Now if I print this, I'm getting name is equal to John and age is equal to 36. This is nothing but a dictionary with the keys with the elements, and the class is nothing but, in this case is dictionary. And the next data type is nothing but a set. So sets are used to represent in the curly brackets. Curly brackets. This is x is equal to apple, banana, and cherry are the set of elements. And if I'm going to print of x, it is going to print the set of elements, and type of x is nothing but it will use the class is nothing but set here. So always dictionaries are is nothing but associative arrays. Dictionaries will have element with the keys, key value, And these dictionaries are indicating with the curly brackets in the Python, and sets also used to indicating in the curly brackets. This is the set, and this is for pros and set. Pros and set. Pros and sets are indicated with the round brackets. Inside the round brackets, the element of the pros and sets are indicated with the curly brackets. The typecasting of this is nothing but pros and set, and this is an example for the boolean. X is equal to 2. If the print the x, just it will display the true, and the data type of x is nothing but boolean. So this is a data type, the example for the boolean, and this is nothing but data type for bytes. Type of bytes is nothing but data type is nothing but here it is bytes, and this is an example for byte array. Byte array, and the data type is nothing but byte array, and this is nothing but memory view. Memory view of bytes of 5. The data type is nothing but memory view, and the null data types is nothing but nil. The class of this is nothing but none data types. So x is equal to none. If you take x is equal to none, print x, so it is going to print none. And to display the data type of this is nothing but type of x. The type of x is nothing but none data type. So these are the data types of the Python, starting from the string, integer, float, complex, set, list, tuple, dictionary, frozen set, bytes array, memory view, and the none data types. Now, how to specifying the data type? How to setting the specific data types? To specifying the specific data types, we'll use the data type using the constructor. So here you can see the example for the data type is for the string. How to specify this is nothing but using the data types keywords. So x is equal to str is nothing but we are going to specify this as a string. This as the string within the constructor. Within the constructor, always strings are indicated with the double quotes. Strings are indicated with the double quotes, and then x is equal to, for the integer we'll use the keyword as integer. Inside the constructor is integer value 20, and this is the example of our float, complex number. This is examples for the list, then it is a tuple, then range, then the dictionary, then the set, frozen set, then boolean, bytes, byte array, and the memory view. So this is how you can specify setting the specific data types in the Python using the constructor. Yeah. So now we'll begin with what is the Python numbers. So there are three numeric types in the Python. What are the three numeric Pythons in the numbers in the Python is nothing but integer, float, complex. And how you can assigning this integer, float, complex into the variables is nothing but, so integers are assigning to the variable is nothing but, okay, what is the difference between list and the tuples? See, the difference between list and the tuple is list of elements are in ordered. Okay, the question is what is a list and the tuple? So list of the elements in an ordered index, but it will be changeable, that we call list of elements are mutable. Mutable is nothing but you can change the list of elements, but tuple is nothing but it is an ordered index but immutable. Immutable is nothing but the list of elements in the tuple can't be changeable, that is nothing but immutable. That is the difference between the list and the tuple.
list is nothing but the list of elements will be changeable or mutable. The elements in the tuple is nothing but immutable. Immutable is nothing but you can't change the value of the, elements in the tuple can't be changing. So that is the difference between the list and the tuple. We'll see more examples on the list and tuple later. What are the list operators? What are the tuple operators? How to change the tuple elements? I said that tuples are immutable. We'll see that how to change the tuple elements. How to indicate with the tuple? What are the tuple operators? The main difference between list and the tuple is nothing but list of elements are ordered index and changeable. Tuple is nothing but tuple elements are ordered index but immutable. Immutable is nothing but we can't change the elements in the tuple. Okay. Anyway, we'll see more examples on that later. And now we'll begin with, okay, Python is supporting for the numbers are like how you can assigning the number types with the variables is nothing but this is how. So x is equal to 1 is nothing but integer, x is equal to 2.8 is nothing but float, and y, and z is equal to 1j is nothing but complex number. To check the type, the data type of these variables is nothing but use the type keyword, type of x, type of y, and type of z. This will give what data types these are. Let us run this one first. After this, I am going to run this. So the type of x is nothing but integer, type of y is nothing but float, and type of z is nothing but complex. So here another example. It is an integer or it is a whole number, positive or negative, without decimal or unlimited length. If I run this, this will gives, this is nothing but integer. This is also example for integer, and this is an example for integer with the negative sign. So the data type of these numbers are is nothing but integer. And this is an example for the floating points. So x is equal to 1.10, y is equal to 1.0, z is equal to minus 35.59. The type of this is nothing but float. And this is an example with, for float can also be, you can indicate with the exponential, with an e, or with the indicator of power of 10, power of 10. So that all these numbers, if I print the data type of this is nothing but all these numbers are floating point numbers. And how to check with the complex numbers is, complex numbers are written in J as the imaginary part. So complex number will have real part and the imaginary part. Imaginary part can be written as J. So this is the example for complex numbers. So if I check the data type of all these variables x, y, z, that type of data types are complex numbers. And then how to do the type conversion from one type to the another type within the integer, within the float, within the complex methods. So how to convert from one type to the another type is nothing but, so let us take an example. Here we are taking the variable x is equal to 1 is nothing but integer, y is equal to 2.8 is nothing but this is nothing but a float, and z is nothing but imaginary part, imaginary number, means imaginary part we have, this is nothing but a complex number, z is equal to 1j. Now I want to convert integer to the float, integer to the float. If I take the variable a, the float of x, what could be the output of this? I'm converting the type from integer to the float. The output of this function is nothing but, it is nothing but 1.0. 0. So converting from float to the integer, that is b, I am taking variable b is equal to integer of y. Now it will give output as 2. Converting float to the integer. Now converting integer into the complex number, use the keyword as complex. C is equal to complex of x. Therefore, it will give the complex of x is nothing but real part is 1 and imaginary part is 0, 0 times of j. If you run this, so first is the example to convert from integer to the float, and second one is nothing but float to the integer, and third one is nothing but integer to the complex. If I check the type, the data type of this, now a is nothing but float. This is nothing but floating number, and b is nothing but integer, and c is nothing but complex number. This is a complex number. So this is how you can convert from one type to the another type. So you cannot convert the complex number into any another number type. You can't convert the complex number into any another type number. So you should keep remember this. The complex number is cannot able to convert the complex number into any other number type. So this is another example with the random number. So this random number is used to generating the random values between the two specifying values. So this Python does not have a random function to make the rand, but Python has a built-in module called it as a random that can make the random numbers. So using this library, random library, importing the random library, print random with the rand range from 1 to 10. It is going to printing the values from, so it is going to print the random values between 1 to 10. If I am running again, it is going to print the random value 1 to 0. So this you can done with the built-in function by importing the library called as a random library. So these are the numbers, integer, float, and the complex and random numbers. And we'll see what is this, how to specify the variable type in the Python. To specify the variable types in the Python, you can use the constructor with the typecasting function. So there may be many times when you want to specify the type on the variable, this can be done with the typecasting. So since Python is an object-oriented language, and such as it uses the classes to define the data types, including the primitive data types, the cast in the Python is therefore done using the constructor function. So integer int keyword with the constructor. This construct an integer from the integer literals or a floating literals by removing all the decimals, or the string literals providing the string represent a whole number. Similarly for the float number, and similarly for the string. So this float converts a float number from the integer literal, a float literal or a string literal, providing a string representing a float or the integer. And next one is nothing but string. So we are going to construct a string from the wide varieties of the data types, including the string, integer, literals, and the floating literals. So this is how to specify the variable types in the Python. So here this is an example to converting. So this is an example. This is an example integers. We are taking the variable x is equal to integer of 1, y is equal to integer of 2.8, z is equal to integer of, this is nothing but a string. So that this integer with the constructor will convert this into the integer. If I'm going to print the value of y, so this will print 2 as the result. And if I give time, or if I'm going to print the value of x, now it is going to print the x is 1. This is one example. And for the float, this is a 1. So it is going to use to converting the other data types into the float point. Now you can see if I'm going to print the Z value, now it is going to print as 3.0. Now if I'm using W, it is going to print as 4.2. And this is an example for the string. So this is regarding about how to specifying the variable type in the Python. To specifying the variable type in the Python, use the keyword integer, float, string with the constructor, so that you can specify the variable type in the Python. Okay. So before start the Python strings, let me take a 10 minutes break. After that, we'll start with the Python strings and what are the string operators in the Python, how to slicing the strings and how to indexing the string of elements. Other string operators we'll see after the break. If you have any questions are there, up to here, you can ask me now. If you have any questions, you can go ahead. Okay. So we'll take a break for 10 minutes. After the break, we're going to start with the Python strings. Yeah, I'm audible. We will resume the session. I'm audible to everyone. Is it I'm audible? Hello? Yeah, am I audible? Okay, so we'll continue with this session. Now we'll begin with what is a string in the Python? What is a string is nothing but a collection of letters. So how you can assigning the string in the Python is nothing but using the single quote or using the double quote. So strings in the Pythons are surrounded by either single quote or double quotes with the constructor within the constructor. So this is how you can assigning the string in the Python. So this is one way using double quotes. This is using single quotes. If I print this, if I run this cell, I'm going to get the output as like this. This is how you can assigning the string with the single quote or double quote. So this is an example that how you can assigning a string into the variable is done with a variable name followed by equal sign and the string. So here I am taking a is the variable. This is equal to how I can assigning a string into the variable is nothing but use the single quote or the double quotes. So just I'm assigning the hello as a string. String is nothing but a collection of letters. Collection of letters. In Python, how you can assign this string into a variable is nothing but use the single quote or the double quotes. Then I'm going to print off a. This print of a will going to print the content of the e. So this is the output I'll get. Hello. Then how to assigning the multi-line strings. How to assigning the multi-line strings is that you can assigning a multi-line string to the variable by using the three quotes. Three quotes. Suppose this is an example for to assigning the multiple line strings. How you can assign this is nothing but by using the triple quotes. Now, if I print this, now A is assigning with the multi-line string, so that therefore it is going to print the content of the E. So to assigning the multiple line string into the variable using the triple quotes. This is one example. You can also use the single quotes, single three quotes, but single three quotes. So this is used to assigning the multiple lines into the string. So here, like many other popular languages, strings in the Pythons are arrays of bytes representing the Unicode characters. Each character in the Python is nothing but it is an array of bytes representing the Unicode characters. So in this, Python does not have a character data type. The single character is simply a string with the length of 1. It is a length of 1. The square brackets can be used to access the elements of the string. Suppose I have a string. Suppose I want to access the element of the string. I said that the string is nothing but it is a collection of letters. To access the elements in the string, suppose this is 0 index, H is 0 index, capital H, E is a 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, so on. To access the elements in the string, use the square brackets. Use the square brackets can be used to access the elements of the string. Suppose I want to get the get the character at the position 1. How you can access that is nothing but assign the variable a to the string. This is a string we are assigning to the variable a. Now, if I simply put print of a, so what it will do? It will going to print the entire content. Whatever the value we are assigning to a is going to print here. Suppose I want to get the elements. Suppose I want to get the element at the 0 index. So I'll give A of 0. This will get the elements of at 0 index. This is 0 index, H is 0 index, E is 1 index, 2 is, L is 3 index, another L is 4 index, 5 index, so on. So this is how you can access in the elements of the string using square brackets. Then you can also do using looping through the string. For this we are using the for loop. For we are taking the x is a variable. So in this case banana, we are taking the variable string as a banana. So if you are iterating through the looping, you can access in the each and every element, I mean character in the string in the banana. So here, since the strings are arrays, we can loop through the characters in the string with for loop. So this is how you can take the each and every character of the string banana through the looping. So using square bracket, you are going to accessing the character at the particular index. Now I want to access all the elements. Okay, like after the character h, before the character h, something like that. We'll see what are the string operators we have to accessing the elements, different elements. I mean different characters in the string. Now, the one of the first string operator is nothing but string length. So what is the use of this string length is nothing but it is used to get the length of the string. What is the length of the string? To get the length of the string, use the length with the constructor. This is a length with the constructor function. So now here, so length function returns the length of the string. So if you take a is, I'm taking the variable a is a string. This is a string, hello, comma, word, exclamatory mark. What is the length of this? What is the length of this is nothing but 13. Before going to this, let us take next example. Like I'm going to take B. I'm going to give us world as a string. Now just I'm going to print the value of B. Now tell me what is the length of this string? The length of this string is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The length of this is nothing but 5. If I run this, the length of this string is nothing but 5. So this is one number of characters here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what is the length of this is nothing but 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this length operator will takes the length of the string including spaces also. Let us do one thing. I'll give b is equal to world, again space hello, space hello. Then what is the length of this b? The length of this b is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. The length of the b is nothing but 12 then. So how to access the length of the string is nothing but use the keyword length of the variable is b. So to check the length of the string, use the operator is nothing but keyword is len length and the constructor. And to check that whether the string is exist or not, to check if the certain parts of a character is present in the string or not, how you can do is nothing but using this function. So I am checking if free is present in the following text is, I'm using text is equal to the best thing in the life or free, so that if I'm using print is in txt, if I use this, If is there in this, it is going to print as true. If is not there, it is going to print as false. So is not there in this, so that it is printing as false. Suppose I'm giving the string as in. In text is nothing but yes, it is going to print as true. To check if the certain pass or a character present in a string, so we can use. So this a text is a variable I am taking. This variable is assigning with the string. Okay, and then I am going to print in text. So this is how you can check if the character is present in the string. So this you can also do with the if statement. Okay, this is string we are taking if free in text print s if the pre is present. Using if statement also you can check this. If it is present, print yes, pre is present. If it is not present, you can do the one more thing else, and if it is not present, it is going to print false. So this is how you can check the character is present or not present in a string. Now we'll see the next string operator is nothing but slicing operator. What is the slicing operator is nothing but you can return a range of character by using the slicing syntax. So specify the start index and end index and separated by colon to return the part of the string. So slicing is nothing but I want to slice from hello to, so I want to slice HELLO. How to slice this is nothing but, so this will be separated with the range. This is a starting range and ending range. These are two are separated by this colon. This is how you can slice the string. So get the character from the position 2 to the position 5. Here the position 2 is nothing but what? This is 0 index, this is 1 index, this is 2 index, 3, 4 and 5. So these are 2 index and this is 3 index. This is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what this slicing will do, it will take the range from 2 to 4. 5 is not included here. 5 is not included. It will take the slicing from 2 to 4. 2 is nothing but L, 3 is nothing but L, and 4 is nothing but 0. Now, if I run this code, it is start slicing L to 5. If I want to start slicing from ELLO, comma, what is the range I should specify here? The range I should specify print BR 2 colon 6. So 6 is not included here. So that this will start slicing from here. LLO, comma. So if I run this, now I'll get LLO, comma. So how you can slicing the string is nothing but you should just specify with the start index. So now this will use the start index. This will use the end index. This two start index and end index is separated by the colon. Start index and end index will separated by the colon, so that it is going to return the part of the string. So note that if the first character has, see in this case, the first character in the string is always is indexed with the 0. This index with the 1, 2, 3, 4, so on like this. Now, what this basically it will do? This I want to slice. So this is nothing but 2 colon means it is start slicing from the slice from the start by the leaving the out of the start index. Then range will start at the first character. So if I'm using the 2 colon means it is start slicing from here to here. So if I run this, now just it will display only. So sorry. So I'm using here 2 colon. 2 colon means before this two letter, before this, whatever the characters I have in the string is going to slice here. So this is 2 colon. Colon is nothing but before this slice, whatever the characters I have, it is going to slice. If I'm using colon 2 inside the square brackets, now what it will do, it is going to slicing all. Colon indicates all, it is going to slicing all other characters after 2. This is how you can use the slicing operation. So slice to the end by leaving out of the end index, the range will go to the end. So this is how. So if I'm using 2 colon, this will be slicing after this 2. Okay, start slicing this 2. Before that, if you want to slice, give the colon 2. So then you can also use the negative indexing in the slicing operation also. So negative index is nothing but the indexing of the string should be start from like this. This is 0 index, this is a 1 index, 2 index, 3, 4, so on. Negative index is nothing but it start from the reverse. So this is indicating -1, this is -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, so on. So negative indexing, use the negative index to start the slicing from the ending of the string. Now, if you talk about the ending of the string, the index of this is nothing but -1, -2, -3, -4, so on like this. This is how you can use the negative index. So here the question is that get the character from O in the world. So this is indexing with what? This is -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. How to indexing this is nothing but. So I want to get the letter from O from the world. Use the negative slicing to get this letter. Can anyone tell me what is the answer to this one? So in this string b is equal to allow comma world, I want to access 0 using negative indexing. Only 0 I want. What is the negative indexing I can use in this cases? Use the negative index to get this. Can you tell me what is the slicing operation I have to do? Shall I use -5 colon -5? This is nothing but negative indexing. If I do this, so there is no range for this. Yeah, what I have to do in this case is nothing but I want 0. 0 means I should give -6. -6 colon. Now it is taking this one. I should give 5 comma -4. Now I am going to get 0 from this world by negative slicing. -5 colon -4. So this is -1, -2. 1 is -1. Sorry, explanatory mark is -1, -2, -3, -4. So for positive indexing, the end index is not included. In the negative indexing, to do the negative indexing, -5. So this is the end index is not included here. I want to get this index is nothing but -5. So -5 will gives me -5 colon -4 is nothing but I can slice in the these terms from this, complete this. Suppose I want to slice LO, I want to keep LO and I want to slice all other things. Can you tell me what is the negative indexing for this to get this one? I want only LO. What is the negative indexing? Can you send me answer to this question? I want to keep LO from the allow. I want to slice all other things in this string. What is the negative indexing range I should give? This is -1. This is -6. Is it? It is a 6, -8 or -6, -8 or 8, -6. This is 8 and end index is nothing but 6. Now just it is keeping this. Let me count the negative index of this. Explanatory mark is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. This space is -7. This is nothing but -8, -9 and -10. So I should give this is -10, -10. This is -9. This is -8. This is -8 using negative index, so that I can get LO using negative indexing. LO using negative indexing. So this is how you can slice in the characters from the string using positive indexing and negative indexing. So in this case, -10 is included and -8 is not included. I want to keep this and slice other part. How I can use is nothing but the range is, this is nothing but this index is nothing but -10 and this index is nothing but -8. Now this is not included, so that it is start slicing other things and it is going to keep yellow. So this is how you can use the slicing operator, positive slicing and negative slicing in the Python. Now we'll see how to modify the strings, how to modify the string. So to modify means converting the upper cases into the lower cases into the upper cases. We can use the keyword like different string operators we have to modifying the strings. Those are, so this Python has a built-in methods that you can use the strings operators. So I'm using upper with the constructor method. It is going to return into the upper cases. It is going to return into the upper cases. So see the example. I'm taking the variable a. A is equal to allow, world. Now I'm going to print a dot. I'm using the keyword as upper. With the constructor. Now this is going to convert this into the upper cases. This is going to convert into the upper cases. Now I am going to print converting all the characters of the string into the upper cases. So this is a string uppercase. Now if you use the lower with the constructor used to convert the uppercase into the lower cases. So a is equal to, I'm using this as a string VLSI to convert this into the lower case, print a dot lower. Now it will convert this into the lower cases. Suppose I want to remove the white spaces before and after the actual text. Before and after actual text, what you can do is nothing but you can use a strip operator, strip a keyword to method to remove any white spaces from the beginning or end of the string. So here the beginning of the string I have given the space, after the end of the string we have a space. To remove this space I can use a strip. So this strip is going to remove the spaces before and after the beginning or end of the string. To remove these white spaces, I mean this blank spaces, use the strip operator to remove this. And then to replace the string, how to replace the string means using replace keyword, replace with the constructor method to replace the string with the another string. So now I have a string, the variable a, I have a string is nothing but hello world. I want to replace h by j. H by j, how I can replace is nothing but print a dot replace. I'm using this character by j, h comma j, so that I can replace this. Now I'm replacing h by j. Now I'll get jello comma world. Now I want to replace he by, okay, let us do this one only. I want to replace he by j. Now I'll get h is replaced by JLLO, comma world explanatory mark. So this replace keyword is used to replacing the string, replace the string with the another string. And then next operator is nothing but split operator. What is a split operator is nothing but this split method returns the list where the text between the specified special separator becomes the list items. So now in this case, I have a string. I have a string with the separator is nothing but comma. I use a split operator. So if I use a split operator, the split method splits the string into the substrings if it is finds an instance of the separator. Now I'm using this split operator. It is going to return as a string. So sorry, it is going to return as a list of items. So I'm separating this using a split operator in the string. And then how to concatenating the string. So Python concatenation is nothing but use the plus operator. To simple way to do the concatenation operation is nothing but take the two strings. A is the string is hello, B is the string is nothing but world. To concatenating this string concatenation to concatenate or combine the two strings, you can use the plus operator in this case. This is also string and this is also string. So to concatenate this, you do the a plus b. C is equal to a plus b. If I'm going to print the C, now I can able to concatenating the string. And in between, you need a space. After hello, you need a space. Add the space between them, then add the space. That is nothing but C is equal to a plus. I'm adding the space here plus b, so that it is going to printing the output like this: allow space world. This is how you can concatenating. This is the concatenating operator in the string. Now the next operator is nothing but format. What is the use of the string format? So in the Python variables, we can't combine the strings with the numbers. Already we saw above, right? We can't combine with the strings with the numbers like this. So we are taking the variable age is equal to 36, and text is nothing but my name is John, comma I am plus age. So if I print this, I can't concatenating with string with the integer. Cannot only concatenate string or to the integer or to the string. So what you can do by combining this, you can do the formatting. Format the string. So, but we can combine the string and number by using the format method. The format method takes the passed argument, format them, and then place them into the string where the placeholder are there. So in that case, I'm using this format operator in the print function. So age is equal to 36, correct? Then text is equal to my name is John and I am. I'm using the placeholder. This is a placeholder. Now I'm going to format. I'm going to use the format method to formatting this. Print text dot format age. Now this age will be placed in the placeholder. Now I will get like my name is John and I am 36. So this is nothing but a format method in the string operator. You can't able to concatenating integer with the string. To solve this problem, you can use the format method. Format method used to formatting the format method takes the passed argument, format them, and place them into the string where the placeholders are there. This is a format operator. This is another example. So using format, so we are using the unlimited number of arguments here and place them into the respective placeholders. So we are taking quantity is equal to 3, item number is nothing but 569, price is nothing but 1949.95. So I'm taking the variable my order is equal to I1. I'm using the placeholder. First placeholder I'm keeping this is nothing but quantity. Now this becomes 3. I want 3 pieces of item. Another placeholder is nothing but item number 561 for price. Price is nothing but 49.95. So if I run this, I'll get output as like this. This is format operators are used to place the content into the placeholders. So this is an example for the format operator in the string. So this is another example. So if you want to pass the argument of format using the different order, you can use this. So you can use the index number 0 to be sure the argument is placed in the correct placeholder. Now this is the 2. 2 is nothing but what? This is the 1. 49.95 and 0 is nothing but 3. 3 is placing in this placeholder and 1 is nothing but 567. This is placed here 567. So using index number also you can do the formatting. So this is the format operators in the string. And the next string operators is nothing but a escape characters. Escape characters. So what is the use of this escape character is nothing but to insert the character that are illegal in a string, use the escape characters. If you want to insert the character that are illegal in the string, you can use the escape character. An escape character is a backslash followed by the character you want to insert into the string. So you can see the example here. An example of illegal character is a double quotes inside the string that is surrounded by the double quotes. Now I want to insert this. So in this case, what happened? I am taking the variable text. So we are the so-called Vikings from the north. So if I run this, I'm getting error for this. It is saying that invalid text. That means any escape characters you want to insert into this, illegal characters you want to insert into this will be followed by the backslash. So if you simply give this one with the double quotes, it throws the error, syntax, invalid syntax, so that you can use the backslash for fixing this problem. Use the escape character with the backslash. So the escape character allow you to use the double quotes, and then when you want normally would not be allowed to fill the content. Now this is used to fill the illegal character into the string using escape characters. Some of the escape characters are like you can find your single quote escape character and backslash, then to the next new line, then this is a carriage return. To give the one tab space, use the backward slash d, and backward slash b is nothing but backspace. Backward slash f is nothing but form feed, and this is for backward slash followed by 3 zeros is nothing but octal value, and backward slash is followed by hexadecimal HS is nothing but hexa value. To fill the escape characters in the Python, these are the escape characters we usually used in the Python programming. Escape characters. These are the escape characters. And we'll see the next is nothing but what are the string methods. String methods we have in the Python. The other string methods we have in the Python is nothing but capitalize. There are so many string methods we have. Let me list out the string methods what we have in this case is these are the string methods. So these string methods are like capitalize. So it is used to convert the first character into the uppercase. Case fold method is nothing but convert the string into the lowercase. Return a center to the string. These are the string methods we have. Like so many string methods we have. We'll see a few of them in this. The first one is nothing but string methods. These string methods are built-in functions in the Python we can using for the string. All the string methods are returns the new values. They do not change the original string. Original string will be the same. So this all the string methods returns the new value. So when you print this, new value will be printed here. So here I'm using the capitalize string method. What is the use of this capitalized string method is nothing but it converts the first character to the uppercase. So every first character to the uppercase. So this is nothing but first character. H will be converted into the uppercase. So I'm taking text is a variable is assigning to the string with the double quotes. I'm taking x is equal to text dot capitalize. The string method I'm using is capitalize of. If I print this, now this capitalize is used to convert the first character into the uppercase. So now H is converted into the uppercase. First character will be converted into uppercase using capitalize. And then another one is nothing but case fold. It converts the string into the lower cases. So all the capital letters are converted into the lower cases. So if I run this, see here in allow, the first letter is nothing but capital letter. In and first letter is capital letter. All the first letters of the string, if this text is in capital letters, to convert this into the lower case, use the case fold. Text.caseFold of constructor. If I'm going to print of x, it is converting all into the lower cases, converting string into the lower cases. And then the next string operator is nothing but center. It is going to return a centered string. Now if I run this text, I'm taking text is equal to the string is banana. If I'm using x is equal to text dot center of 1, it is going to return the number of times the specified values are occurred in a string. This is the one example for the string method. And another one string method is nothing but count. So the use of this count is nothing but it is going to this string center is to return the string centered string, and this count method is used to return the number of times the specified values occurred in the string. Suppose this is by text with the string. I'm taking x is equal to text dot count, or how many times r is specified in the string. So this is specified in the string is only one times. Therefore, it is going to print the 1. It returns the number of times the specified value occurs in the string. To do this, we'll use a string method is count. And next string method is nothing but encode. So it is going to return the encoded version of the string. And if I print this, so this is encoded. This will be coded into this will be encoded. I'm taking text is equal to my name is Stally, and then if I do encode, if I run this is an encoded version of the given string. And this is another example. So this string Python is encoded here. Now if I run this Python will be encoded like this. This is how you can do the encoded. So encoded is used to encode the version of the string. And next string method is nothing but end switch. The end switch string operator, it is going to return if the string ends with a specified value. If the string is end with a specified value, in this case, we're taking the variable text is equal to this string, hello, welcome to my world dot. If it is end with dot, if I run this, it is true. So now it is end with the dot. Yes, it is correct. Therefore, it will use true. So what is the use of this ends with the string? End switch is nothing but it is going to return the string ends with a specified value. So now I am specified here with the dot. So whether my string is end with this, yes, it is going to true. If I am giving some other, let me give the backward slash, whether it is end with the backward slash. Yeah, this is using for end of the line. Now what I'm going to do, I'll use a question mark. Now my string is end with the question mark, no, therefore it is giving us false. So this is one string method, end switch method. Like this, there are various string methods are there. You can see here, all these are the string methods. How to modify and what are the string different methods we have. I have listed out all the string methods here. These are the string methods. So this is regarding about Python in the string. How to slicing the string, how to modify the string, how to find out the length of the string, what are the string methods we have. I will listed out all the string methods here. So tomorrow we will begin with like what are the operators, Python operators, and what are the arithmetical operators, what is assigning operators, what is comparison operators, logical operators, identity operators, membership operators, bitwise operators, and we'll begin with the list, tuples, sets, dictionaries. We'll see all these topics in the next session. Yeah. If you have any sort of questions you can ask me now. Yeah, we have lab session for the Python. So like from tomorrow onwards, what I'm going to do, I'll start with the lab session also. Parallelly, I'll start with the lab session to practicing all this. Tomorrow we'll begin with the lab sessions also. Okay, from tomorrow onwards, I'll start doing the lab session also. Okay, so with this, I'm going to wind up the session here. We'll see in the next session. Thank you all.